It's a lovely sight, the streets of Geelong at night, looking over this magnificent Simmons Stadium arena, packed and ready for a high-quality contest as two high-quality skippers meet in the middle.
Matty, your call, mate. AFL is the call. Go for it. And that's Geelong. Thanks, boys.
So Geelong will kick to the right of screen, and really a full house. I think we had 32,500 here last year in the qualifying final, and there wouldn't be that far off that many here tonight, gents.
Yeah, and I get the feeling we are in for a ripping game. Chris Scott, we had a chat to him pre-game. A lot of nervous tension around, as the coaches do. I felt Ross Lyon was a bit more relaxed just in his body language when we saw them about half an hour ago. Limbering up there, you can see the tension. This means so much in terms of top four.
Absolutely does. You want to finish in the top two, guaranteed home finals, and both these teams are in the hunt, third versus fourth. Cats on 56, Freo on 52. Freo really have to win tonight, and they know that they can win down here. Ross Lyon said they enjoyed playing on this ground. It's similar in size to Patterson Stadium, BT.
A win tonight could end up in second position, the Cats. That means Ryan Crowley, we're going to have ISO cam on him all night tonight, Das, so you won't miss a thing with the action off the ball.
It's going to be interesting, is it? Was Ross Lyon playing a game of poker at the start of the week? He said there's no doubt Crowley will go to Stevie J. Will he roll him onto someone else? So it was a bit of mind game action for mine. Fremantle have won the last 4 of the last 5 games against Geelong. It's a great contrast in styles. They are amazing at putting pressure on this Geelong team. And Geelong just say, you know what, no matter who comes, we'll keep taking it onto the corridor. And then when they turn it over against Fremantle, it gets a bit interesting. So there's going to be a lot of that going on. Let's get a look at Crowley now. He's sizing up Stevie J.
It's like two bulls approaching in the street.
Yes.
You just know it's going to... He's hiding behind Big Sandy, but you know it's going to happen.
Well, Stevie J, he's in the middle. There he is, with Selwood and Guthrie. That 5 in there also.
He just doesn't want to get too close too early, but I guarantee you it will be on here tonight. There they go, the meeting of those two. There's been plenty of discussion about it. There's been plenty of history between the two, and we are ready to go. Top 4 position consolidation on offer here, perhaps even second, depending on the results between Sydney and Port Adelaide tonight as well. Selwood, quick hands to Kelly. Kelly getting the ball forward. Kirsten fell over before acceptances, and now spur at the back to Hill. Hill just backs up, as cool as you like, and sends it down the line.
Holding!
Mains won the free. So the advantage to Mundy. Their gun star midfielders.
Go back. Time back on.
That's what he does best. Harry Taylor, intercept mark, and he's right back in his best form at the moment.
They just know how to put a wall across this ground, Geelong, don't they?
Geelong.
Now, this is an injury here. This is an injury to Hill. He's hurt his ankle, I reckon.
Yeah, he might have stepped on Duncan's foot there, BT. He picked it up really early. Looks like he's just rolled the ankle.
And he's had to go again as well, so he's really feeling the effects of that at the moment. Christensen down the line. Opportunity for Duncan, who's been doing a good job in the midfield. A good centering ball. Sander lands.
That's when he plays his best footy for me. He's 7th in the AFL for contested marks. When he's around the ground, standing tall and doing that, he becomes a really effective player.
Rivers did well to affirm the front position.
Looks like Stephen Hill is coming from the ground. There he is. Have another look at it.
Let him run! Let him run!
Yeah, he's rolled his ankle,
Yeah, he
trod
really
on Mitch Duncan's foot.
And just quickly, guys, I can assure you Ross Lyon wasn't playing poker during the week. Ryan Crowley has gone straight to Stevie J.
Yeah, and the good thing about those ankles is they can be strapped and they can be reasonably effective with the strapping. So let's hope so. Gee, that's a pulverising tackle. I bet you that was Joel Selwood. It was on De Boer. Sensational stuff already. Sandilands to Mundy. High footy. Intense game of footy expected here tonight. Lot on offer. Fremantle done really well against the Cats. They've beaten them in the last 2 final series, Fremantle.
Yeah, 4 out of 5.
Victoria.
Cats got a little bit of control early. They've had all of the ball in their forward half of the ground.
So Fife been prominent already. Almost run down there. Mackie now. An opportunity. Main wearing him like a glove. De Boer almost through it. Handball now to the run of Pavlich. Kick to an open 50 and no one home. Ballantyne closing on Enright.
And Lee Chris Scott's going to put some work into Nate Fife tonight as well.
Yeah, Cam Guthrie's the man there, and you can see on your screen Corey Enright has got the job on Hayden Ballantyne. So some fascinating matchups all across the ground. We'll be watching very, very closely at all of them.
McIntosh in there, you saw back into the side at the expense of Dawson Simpson this week. You'll see him on the left of screen there.
One stat to watch tonight is the time in forward half. If Freo win the time in forward half, which they've done on 10 occasions this year, they've win 90% of the games. So they will be looking to lock it in like they have here. Free kick.
Yep, Subin.
Go through, go through. Corey, thanks, mate. Nick, that's your line.
So quite a strong wind down there at the moment, Lingy. What's it doing?
It's blowing, it'd be blowing
left to right on this
left
kick?
to right, exactly right. Just looking at the flags behind the goals, and reasonably strong, not a howling wind, but enough to affect the kick. You'd want to be aiming for the left goalpost on this one.
Yeah, it is reasonably strong. You're quite right, Lingy. Those flags reasonably erect. As Subin comes in, and he has not allowed for it at all. That has swept right across the face. Sandlands is a big man. He bowls over Kelly, and then taken down in the Rivers tackle. Geelong players say he took him on.
Oh, no.
They've given him the free, the big fella. Said Rivers landed on his back. No way.
Oh, it's a shocker.
He tried to bust through the first tackle. And
He is on his back there, but that's...
After he's holding the footy well. Umpire's got that horribly wrong. But you know what I love? Sandland's attack on the footy and the man.
Just right there.
And Rivers saying, what about the forearm as well? Aaron Sandlands, 25 metres out, and no go.
that's telling you a little bit about the wind down there, though. He never looked confident going for that set shot.
He was uncertain where to aim the footy, wasn't he?
Yeah, it certainly was.
Great view down the ground. Magnificent new arena here at Simmons Stadium. Filled to capacity tonight. We saw a few Freo fans in the house. A couple of hundred seats here for them.
Straight back, let it go.
Just keep an eye on Stevie J. He's really trying to get moving every opportunity he gets. He's trying to really burst through packed situations.
Pearce, high footy, inside 50. Ballantyne at the back of Enright. Enright did well now. Pavlich looked to get it off. Lonning had got him in the tackle.
Disposal. Geelong.
Illegal disposal, said the umpire.
Illegal disposal.
Seen a lot more holding the balls played in the last few weeks. Good decision, didn't dispose of it properly.
Okay, come on. Time back on.
I think it's been really good. I think the crowd enjoys seeing the holding the balls played. The players do as well, getting rewarded for their tackles.
James Kelly, risky kick. Really made Stokes do some work there. And Blitzarves come through, but in the end, he just shepherded the opportunity there for the Fremantle Dockers to retain the ball in their 50.
On the ball, he dived on the ball. Must dispose of it, Geelong kick. Back to him now. Stay there.
I thought that footy was under the Geelong player at the end and not the other way around. So they're paying free kicks early here, the umpires. Good mark there from Tom Hawkins. #1 contested mark in the game, that man there.
Right up on the wing. Hawkins out wide. Here's Stevie J. Over the back was Crowley. Hall and Smith to Motlop from 50. Very capable from here. Very dangerous, Motlop.
Two hard tags in the midfield, going straight to the bench together. Fife headed there, so did Guthrie, and as soon as Stevie J went to the bench, Crowley was right behind him, so they're going to be following them everywhere.
So McFarlane there, I see Hill's just come back on the ground as well. Looks to be moving marginally better as Harry Taylor takes a very nice mark.
Zach, stay there.
Right in front of Wayne Ludby, one of the best photographers in the business. Won Photographer of the Year many times.
Play on.
Harry Taylor inside 50. Hawkins there, Hall and Smith, McIntosh, stand, high footy to the top of the square, danger, Sandland's there. Already taken 3 marks tonight.
He's really getting back to help his defence so far, Sanderlands.
Fife. Brass got Ballantyne on the inside. They all peel off, thinking that's what he was going to do with the footy. In the meantime, goes to centre half forward. Pavlich needs a good bounce, didn't get it. Lonigan was there. Kelly spun out of the tackle magnificently. Neat little wobbly kick. McIntosh, fast hands. Don't argue Murdoch. Traffic gone. Just got rid of the ball in the nick of time. The pressure's unbelievable. Duffield to Neil. Neil to the superstar Pavlich.
Well, that's the blueprint for the way the Dockers play against the Cats. Forward pressure, put them under the pump. They go through the middle of the ground, Geelong, and then when they turn it over in the middle, let's have a look at this great tackle effort. It was Crozier, and that gives them great confidence. Because it's in the middle of the ground, Richo, you can always score when you turn it over there.
Yeah, and that's what Pavlich wants. He gets the chance to take a mark in the corridor.
15 seconds.
27-15 from set shots. This one's a tough one. He's got the breeze basically blowing straight into him, but you still reckon it's a little bit left to right. We can see the flags up there in the top right. Pavlich from 50, going to have to hammer it just to get it there. He has, right to the line. Falls short in the end. Taylor, happy to concede.
He's normally a pretty good kick at goal, Matt Pavlich, and it was a straight kick, but you saw as soon as it got up above that grandstand behind the goals there, it really sits up. So the Cats have got a fair breeze here in the first quarter.
Yep, indeed they have, Richo. Selwood out to Rivers. De Boer trying to close him down.
Let him up now. Hold there. Thank you. Right there.
Rivers high ball. Here's Hawkins, one out. You heard Dar say, one of the best contested marks in the comp. Little handball over the top to Varco. Varco draws Haaland Smith to the ball. The build up to Bartel. Tried to duck under the tackle, got him high. Did it. Says he got a whack in the lip there, so must have caught him high.
Jimmy, 1 metre, please.
Absolutely. The initial part of the tackle was high.
Hey, Dave, thanks. It's there.
Yeah, smart Jimmy Bartel. He sensed what was coming and drew the high tackle.
Basically 25 metres out directly in front here, Bartel. This for the first goal
Stephen!
in the first 10 minutes of play. Pretty easy set shot. He hammers the ball. Geelong have kicked the first goal of the game. Great shot of Simmons Stadium. Good game on offer. A 12-zip record in Victoria this year, Geelong. Only team in the comp
Aaron, yours.
not to have lost their home, not to have lost in their home state this year. Remarkable from the Cats.
Right in the middle. Wow.
Sandilands, who's really stamping his authority on this game.
Back. Geelong.
Rally infringes. Johnson sideways finds McIntosh.
Thanks, Luke. Play on that 15. Play on.
Heard the umpire's call to Duncan. Have noticed game I saw at Etihad today, they did play a couple of the shorter kicks today, so they're right onto that, which is a good thing. Mackie to Lonigan, still halfback Cats.
Play on.
Both ruckmen are the leading disposal gatherers on the ground. McIntosh has 5 and so does Sandilands.
Mackie, high ball, bit of space in front of Hawkins. He wanted the free. Johnson now gathers, turns boundary when in trouble and under pressure. Always safe to do that. Duffield with a spearing ball to Barlow.
Hey, Lingy, is the big Tomahawk playing a little bit further away from goal than normal tonight?
Yeah, he's trying to be that bailout kick. I reckon with Fremantle's pressure, Geelong have decided if they get in trouble at all, they need to just be able to kick it long out of the danger zone and be able to kick it to Tom Hawkins in a one-on-one. So certainly up further, probably 60, 70 metres out from goal.
Bartel in front, but really it's a 3-on-1, 4-on-1 there in favour of the purple. And now De Boer. A bit too far out to score. De Boer places the ball for Main or Mundy. Either will do.
Yeah, you're right. That was a really good kick. That breeze, so strong down that end. He just placed the kick to the advantage of Mundy. Here's the turnover. And that's what the Freo Dockers do. They cause turnovers, then you have players out back inside your forward 50, and there's that kick. Just nicely placed to advantage.
Now this, I know it's directly in front, silly thing to say 30 metres out, but he's either got to nail it and kick it firmly and not allow for any movement, or if he kicks it softly, there's going to be plenty of left to right.
Yeah, it was a real art to this one, isn't it? Breeze a big factor in this kick.
So Mundy steps to the line. He decides to go with a reasonably powerful kick, and the wind is worrying them. There's no question they haven't measured it yet.
And it gets inside your head, and every kick that misses now, as a team, it just gathers momentum and gets inside your head, that wind. It's a really tricky shot at goal down that end. Always has been here when the wind's blowing.
Made too good a contact. It went dead straight, didn't move at all. Duncan threw the ball there. Hill, there's Hill, who had that ankle strapped. Barlow fast hands out to Hill, was immediately tackled. Geelong all over Fremantle here in this passage of play. Motlop out the back door to Selwood. His handball's past his smothered. It's a hot ball at the moment. And it'll be a free kick, Freo. Let's have a listen.
I saw you throw him out. It was back there. Fremantle. So you threw him out, mate.
Chris May.
Wait and let us deal with it.
Chris May, your kick. It's a free kick off
I will.
J.A. go through.
Yes, mate.
So Jason Armstrong, number 26, playing a lot of frees here at the moment, but explaining himself pretty clearly.
Yeah, long way off the footy, and he said to Joel Selwood, let us work it out. Selwood dump his man. Let's right of frame here. Let's go back and see. This is the non-officiating umpire, right of frame. Like that was much Joel Selwood's way, did it?
So why's the kick back with Chris May?
I'm not so sure.
I can't work that out.
Main will be trying to work this out. That is a left post. Aim it at the left post and let it work back. He's done that, but it still hasn't come and still not enough distance. So they're having trouble working it out here at the moment.
Well, they've had enough of the footy, Fremantle, to be really happy with the way they've started this game, but it's just the inaccurate kicking. They're really structuring up well in this part of the ground, making the Geelong Cats nervous defenders.
Okay, Varco now. Fremantle have had it trapped at their end for a few minutes now. Guthrie retreats over the boundary.
Thanks, boys. Hey.
Hold the meter. Thank you.
Double team here, Blitzarves and McIntosh. Johnson came in to help Zach Clark, so 2-on-2 in the ruck, really. And now a bit of a skirmish here. Geelong this year will play in the finals for the 8th consecutive season. The only other time they did this was between 62 and 69.
Go through. No need. No need. Let it go, Brian. Let it go. Let it go.
Crowd liking that. Stevie J with the free, and he went sort of a taunt then, I think it was, or attempted taunt.
Cam Guthrie.
Gee, there's a lot of whistle blowing in this game. The advantage paid. And I don't reckon that was a Geelong advantage. How could it be if Fremantle are running onto the footy? Duffield now wide. Barlow strokes it out wide to Pavlich. Pavlich at full steam, pressured by Taylor.
So let's have a look at the ground here. It was a free kick that went the way of Stevie. Stevie, just a little errant boot there to Lockie Neal.
Just it's unnecessary, and we know that he got off a little silly kneeing charge during the week, which he should have got off. But
I mean, the impact was low, but it was still there.
Not enough force probably to be an issue, but it's just silly. It's just dumb from Stevie. He's missed weeks before. They are trying everything they can to force him to do that and get in their head, and that was just a little sign. You go and grab him off for a minute and say, Stevie, don't miss 3 or 4 weeks. Too important coming into the finals.
McIntosh. Run of Enright. Seeing the field clearly downfield, but the kick not so good. That's a hold on the Hawkins against McFarlane.
We were over in the West on Thursday night and saw Luke McFarlane, who has been an unbelievable defender. Richo, you would have played on him. Great athlete, super player, but it just seems to me as though he's just not quite got the pace or the athleticism anymore, and you start doing that a bit when you get a bit nervous about your strength and your athleticism, you give away a few more free kicks.
And this man makes you really nervous in one outs, and you tend to grab it. Tommy Hawkins, because you know that he's going to be able to push off with strength. He's the best one-on-one player in the competition at the moment.
He'll know precisely where to aim this and start it to give him the best possible chance of a good finish, and he's nailed the goal. So Geelong have got a couple in the early stages. So Geelong, with the first 2 goals of the game, lead it by 9 points. That's the setup looking to the Geelong end, to which they're kicking, the Bowen River end.
Play on.
Guthrie.
Well, one of the great advantages your side has had down here is that it's a unique breeze, and it is hard to kick. Opposition sides find it really hard, and that's been the difference so far at the start of this game. Fremantle have had the chances, but just haven't scored. Yeah,
you're right, Das. They've had a lot of play and a lot of shots at goal, and just haven't quite been able to convert. The good thing about Geelong is they get to train here all the time, so they're used to reading the ball through the air. You can see even Harry Taylor doing it down the other end, and they're used to having shots at goal, so it is an advantage.
A little heavy on the kick from Harry. Johnson was able to punch it over the boundary.
He's back to his best, though, Harry Taylor. That's his third intercept mark already in this game, and it just launches their attacks. This Geelong team.
Sorry, Richo, supporters rugged up there. Very cool night if you're watching from somewhere else in Australia other than Victoria. Here tonight, pretty cold conditions, but no rain today.
Gee, Selwood is such a great leader. We've seen him being the player trying to help Stevie J out.
Centre half forward marks, runs to 50, just lets it float. Geelong 3 goals. Mackey's pumped.
It's a great shot on goal from Andrew Mackie, drifting down. He's done that so often in his career. It was set up, though, by Selwood, draws the free kick, and then he just gets up and plays on quickly, switches the ball across the ground. He knew that Mackie would be there. Know each other so well, these Geelong players.
Electric atmosphere outside here at the moment. The Cats now looking to secure a 4th goal in this opening term. The smooth-moving Christensen from near the boundary line, just letting it bend a little right to left.
Look, not being on Luke McFarlane's case, but again, that was just being let up. It was Kirsten, picked up the half volley, and normally he would just back his athleticism in. He'd be in front. Might be a blood rule here with Mundy.
Gee, he could have almost wiped that off. The rule is, I think, you've got to come from the ground if it's flowing blood and it can't be stopped. So I wonder whether they could have attended to that on the ground. Anyway, best thing is he comes off.
I'll give you the okay, right?
He's got that permanent smile on his face, right, Crowley, hasn't he?
A few people have been keen to take that smile off his face over the journey, Ryan Crowley, but he's the sort of teammate you'd love to play with, Richo. He just gives his heart and soul to his side every week.
Told if he had his choice, he would rather play as an attacking midfielder, but that's not going to happen in this side, I don't think. So you feel for him in some ways, and there's a pulverising Ryan Crowley tackle. He's given away his second free.
He wants to be careful he doesn't give 50 away. Just put a bit of the old stiff arm onto Stevie J's neck then.
So Johnson just out of kicking range, goes short. Fife, beautiful soft hands at ground level. Unable to finish it though. De Boer, the little spin. Fife win again. Johnson's in the thick of it here. Crowley's wearing him like a glove. They're both on the ground again.
Fife got a really nice shirt front right up the middle there. You see, it took him a little while to get his composure.
De Boer copping it. Just the little skirmishes when Stevie J and Crowley are lying on the ground after the umpire's blown his whistle. That's surely in the back of Barlow. Nothing on there, said the umpire. Now Subin at ground level is really under enormous pressure. Steps through some traffic. Long footy out to the wing. Harry Taylor pushing his man out of the way. Then a tap to Mackie under pressure. Rivers just had to go. And he did, to the safety of the boundary.
4.5 minutes remaining this first quarter, and it's delicately poised, this game for me. You see Chris Scott's pretty comfortable. Ross Lyon knows, if they're outscored 4 goals to zip, well, I reckon it's a huge way to come back from there. Fremantle kick the next goal. I think they'd be pretty happy with their first quarter into the breeze. So big 4.5 minutes coming up.
Lockie Neal with a little stoppage clearance there up towards Pavlich. Barlow in there fighting hard at ground level, drags it back in. Now he's got to get rid of it or he'll be pinned. It flicked out the back once again. An opportunity there for Crozier.
Let's tell you what, though, the Cats' defence has been outstanding in the last month. #1 in the competition, and it's because Harry Taylor's back to his best. He's already taken 5 marks, and they're looking like they're going to be really hard to score against tonight.
Fife, who's really run through the stoppages at speed, I've noticed. Duffield fast hands once again. An opportunity here for Crozier. Goes to an open goal square, and the Fremantle side get their first goal at the 23-minute mark.
Have a look at this stoppage here and have a look at the impact that Nat Fife has on it. He doesn't get a clear possession, but just takes 2 or 3 Geelong players with him. The momentum of the footy through leads to that Crozier goal. That's why he's such a great player, such a big body around those stoppages.
Spot on, Lingy. He's done it a couple of times in this first quarter already. Watch him at the stoppage with the power he tries to get through the contest. Once again, Fremantle go forward. Varco's there with Ballantyne. De Boer pushing his man under the footy. Harry Taylor did well. Stokes did even better. Now Mackey's got to make the kick stick, and he does to Motlop.
Stay there.
Motlop will wheel and go. A long footy. Hawkins one-on-one with Dawson. McFarlane drops off.
Great play by McFarlane. If he didn't get back, I reckon Hawkins had Dawson right where he wanted him to take a chest mark. Gee, that's important, to get back and help on Tom Hawkins.
On the flip side, Richo, such an important role for Shane Kirsten. He's only a young player. He's got to make sure he engages McFarlane, lets Tommy Hawkins work in a one-on-one situation.
Zach Clark did well. Sandilands having a spell on the bench here at the moment. His main running the same direction. Rivers was in the hunt. Selwood went to the boundary, got tackled a little high, I thought.
Back to meter, please. Back to meter.
Have a look. In the end, the free kick was paid as a trip.
Have a look at this here, BT. You can see Christensen, Motlop up at the half-back line. I love how their half-forwards push right up the ground. Really dangerous on the transition. They're being held up here, though.
So Blitzarves goes straight down the line. A very narrow ground here at Simmons Stadium. Not a lot of gap between the edge of the centre square and the boundary. You can see from that shot there, Fife again showing his dominance at the stoppage. G's been terrific. De Boer, leading player is Main, knocked it down one hand once again. In amongst it there is Crozier, this time couldn't win it. And that'll be a boundary throw-in. Christensen just looking a little proppy there. Clark reaching over the top. Again, Fife at the stoppage. They're going to have to do something with him at the stoppage, Lengy, because he is just dominating.
Yeah, you're right, BT. Just too much influence. Somebody needs to check his run. Just not let him come through with all that momentum, because he's just creating so much of the play.
He's had 4 already, Lingy, 4 clearances.
There's Motlop. Given some space down the middle. Funny little kick. Stripped by Mundy. They can go here. He can escort it down with Ballantyne. He's not sure what to do. Now he gets out into some open space. He thought about Pavlich there for a moment. Then he wants some more runners to overlap here. And here they go. Pearce's kick was a little anxious and perhaps a little impatient to the ball.
Harry Taylor is having a massive influence on this game. He was good enough then to sift back in the hole. Pavlich pushed out wide. They didn't honour the kick out there. And Harry Taylor, who has had 7 possessions, he's already taken 6 marks. Matty Pavlich has got to find a way to stop him from taking intercept marks. It's been a big issue for the Dockers.
Stokes. McIntosh, the one-on-one with Clark. Hold the arm.
Thank you. Play on.
Former Roo, Hamish McIntosh, says, I want to go long. Hawkins had the front position, then lost it. Now Supins under some Guthrie pressure. Hill's there to help. They collide, a little bit of uncertainty. Now he sits on the ball. He must get rid of it. Blitzarves is there.
Good decision.
Come back here.
Really common sense umpiring, I reckon, on these ones lately. Early in the year, they may have paid that as a holding the ball.
Did you see Bartel then? He said there's a tiny hole there and I'm going through it. Sensational stuff from Bartel.
Jimmy Bartel, they've made him into a more permanent forward. Chris Scott there barking his last instructions before coming down. And that's a massive goal. It really is. Have a look at Bartel. Brilliant play. He went hard with his head, chance to draw a free kick, and then the high level of skill. He's their second leading goal kicker of the year, Jimmy Bartel, and he's a really important, third forward really now on this side.
Gee, they'd be flat with that Fremantle. They had a chance to have a clearance there. It was a pretty clear tap down, direct to your teammate, and it just missed the target slightly. Bartel makes them pay.
In the last half minute of the quarter, that was. Bartel's got a couple. Geelong by 16. Clark did well. Mundy now Crowley. Little kick, didn't gain a lot of depth with the footy. Zach Clark's in there, fast hands backwards, knew someone to be there, Crowley. Crisscross handball, now Sutcliffe. Wondering what he should do. Didn't have much on, so had to go really wide, where they've been to Pavlich many times in that spot, and he's got a free.
Well, I had to go wide because Harry Taylor once again was sitting right where you'd want to go in the corridor. Just great positioning by Taylor.
So time will run out here. Siren sounds. Geelong, with the aid of the breeze, lead it here at quarter time by 16 points. 4 first quarter goals, 4 goals, 2 in fact, 26. Fremantle 1-4-10.
Break brought to you by Carlton Draft.
It was a fast-starting Geelong, and Jimmy Bartell was able to collect a couple of little goals for himself with the aid of a fairly strong breeze, I might add, in this first quarter, of which Fremantle kicked into. That was a good example of Bartell's desperation up forward. Quarter-time scores see an advantage here at quarter-time to Geelong by 16 points. But what we want to ask you is this the story of the first quarter? Have a look at Stevie J here. You decide.
Thanks, David.
Now, no impact there. Lockie Neal took him to task over that little kick to the side of the head, but it's just an unnecessary, silly little thing.
Yeah, he just doesn't need to do it, and I guess it's been commented on a lot during the week, the little knee last week, but he intentionally did kick him to the side of the head. It was low impact, but intentionally it was done down to Lingy.
What do you make of it, Lingy?
Well, just not smart. I'm sure Chris Scott wouldn't be happy with that. He needs his star players on the field come September. And watching Chris Scott behind me, I reckon he's talking to his players about their clearances. Spent a bit of time with the midfield group. They're down 11-5 in clearances, and we touched on Nat Fyfe being a big part of that. But why Geelong are ahead on the scoreboard at the moment is their kicking efficiency against this terrific Fremantle defence. They're going at 71% efficiency. I reckon Ross Lyon would be urging his players to put more pressure on those Geelong players so they can't move the ball like they did in that first quarter.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant point, Lee. They have been on top in clearances, Fremantle, which they've dominated against the Cats in recent years, with Sandilands getting the advantage, but by foot they are just slicing them up through the middle of the ground. They had their chances. They had shots of goal to make this a really close contest, but with the breeze, maybe they'll be able to score a bit more heavily here, Richard.
It hasn't been an uncommon thing against Geelong over the years to lose the clearances, because they then win it back at half back with like Harry Taylor taking intercept marks, Corey Enright over the years.
So we're ready to go here in the second quarter. You might have noticed that the Geelong players just have a little orange ring on their socks, and that's to highlight the Just Think campaign, the fight against drunken violence there, that little orange hoop that they've got at the top of their socks. So good on the Geelong players and football club for getting behind that Just Think campaign. Selwood shrugging the tackle. Stevie J. Mackie, who was prominent, kicking a goal from half-back in that first quarter. Christensen had the ball taken away. Remember, Fremantle in this quarter, the aid of the breeze. Enright did well and has done well against Ballantyne.
That's a high-quality mark, under pressure, running back with the flight. One grab effort from the champion in Corey Enright.
Guthrie looking for something inside.
So Harry Taylor gets involved again. He started that centre bounce as a loose player, but he's not prepared just to sit back. He gets involved. He's up to 8 touches now, Harry. 7 marks.
As Bartell had his eyes set on that one. Barlow once again to Hill. Hill seems to have recovered from the ankle injury. Mackie knew he shouldn't have taken possession there. Harry Taylor was able to bullock his way through. Now Kelly out of defence.
Harry Taylor's the best player on the ground. He is the most effective player. Fremantle have done a lot of things right, but they've got to get their head around how they take Harry Taylor out of it, and he keeps amassing marks and intercept marks in particular. They won't score.
Rivers did really well there. Now Motlop down the boundary on the build-up's good. Hawkins being held. He wants to take the advantage. Tom Hawkins, long way from goal. Starting to close now. He had a good look. Centering kick to Selwood was dangerous. Little soccer, I think it was Murdoch. Tackled Highway, slung in the tackle, and Selwood goals.
Back here.
It was a good centering kick from Hawkins. He had a real good look, didn't he?
Yeah, and look at this spot where he's put the footy. Perfect position. So dangerous. get a loose ball and Selwood makes them pay with a nice goal.
Only good things happen when you do that quickly. Here's Mundy with a really perfect clearance out of the middle. The little man, Ballantyne, will have to do it on his non-preferred side.
You remember the qualifying final last year, at this identical stage, Fremantle were down by 20 points, so almost exactly as it sits at the moment. I don't know, you just get the feel they wouldn't want to get it too much further out at home with a very fired-up Geelong side.
Hold there, thank you. No.
Selwood. I mean, good at picking the one-on-ones with the longer kick. And what about that? He's a one-on-one contested mark winner. Didn't let him down. Bartel got a couple to choose from. Did well over the top, Johnson. Now Duffield through the traffic. And deliberate, is it or not? The players ask, the umpires confer, and the decision is made.
Had no choice there, the umpire. That was about as deliberate as it gets.
2 metres,
That Dawson-Hawkins matchup is starting to be a real concern. He looks like winning it every time it goes to him, Tom Hawkins.
Just wait, wait.
You just know, look at the players, the Fremantle players here. When you get a chance, there's the kick. Have a look at the Fremantle players to the side, making sure he doesn't get too much run around. Good mark taken in the end here by Main.
Hey, Dirk Mitch, Shane out with him.
That was a brave kick, wasn't it? It was the right bloke to kick it to, but he was surrounded by 3 Cats.
They inch it through the middle. Barlow just too much on the kick. He was undecided between Ballantyne and Fife.
Cannot get through centre forward. On that occasion, it was Enright. They really need a presence there to at least bring it to ground, but it's happened too often. Entries inside 50 have been marked a bit easily.
The last 3 times Geelong have played top 5 sides, they have been smashed. So I'm sure they're here tonight to prove they can beat one of the contenders. And they look good.
Gee, his ball, the way he's moving, his leading patterns are brilliant, Tom Hawkins.
It's Duncan there, but Johnson gets back, just a little jittery in the air, is able to recover the football, but nothing on the counter-attack because Geelong have set up this massive wall across half-forward at the moment. Even Rivers is up on half-forward, dishes to Kelly. Kelly with an easing kick, Barlow. 10th touch for Barlow.
Thanks, Harry.
Richard, that's what excites me about Geelong and their chances of going deep into the finals and maybe challenging for another premiership is Tom Hawkins. You remember the back problem he had 12 months ago where he was lame this time of the year. It was a week-to-week proposition. Well, he's in career best form right at the moment.
Gee, this is sensational movement from the Dockers from one end to the other. Without a touch of Geelong, Fife will get a shot from 35.
It was great ball movement. Harry Taylor, he drifted down the ground. He was looking to get involved. He nearly chopped that ball off in his own forward 50, but then it left him exposed down the other end. Taylor wasn't there, and Freo finally found some space inside 50.
So Nate Fife, so much talk about him in the last couple of weeks. Fremantle get their 2nd goal.
Just a little learning experience here for Mark Blitzarves. Hayden Ballantyne taking the mark. Just could not overcommit there. Of course, Ballantyne was always going to want to look to play on. Was able to get the quick kick in. If he was able to slow him down, might not have been a shot at goal, but well played, Ballantyne.
Play on.
Crozier upended in that tackle. Mundy,
Play on.
who's the leading possession getter on the ground.
Tackle, Geelong. Selwood, hold there. Play on.
Quickly to Guthrie, he does just that. Now he sets Varco a task here against Barlow. You would think Varco would have him for foot pace, but Barlow staying with him, did well to apply the tackle. Now the 3-on-1. Varco did well in the dispossessing tackle. Barlow through some traffic, living dangerously here, the Freo Dockers. They are getting caught up with every time they've got the footy. Have a look at the pressure coming from the Cats. It is everywhere. And eventually Barlow just has to kick it out of the zone. What can Fremantle do here to make it work, though? What great pressure from the Cats.
On the footy. Geelong dragged it in. Hold there, Hayden.
A little one off the footy here.
Go around.
Zach Clark getting involved with Stevie J.
Just off the footy to Ball. And Stokes throwing themselves at it. That was commitment of some kind. Here's Lockie Neal, puts it into a forward line, and Enright will sit under this.
Enright and Taylor, how good are they at the moment?
Yeah, right on top, Richo. The loose man just isn't favouring Fremantle at the moment. I think they've got to be bold enough here to man him up. And even if they have to play a five-man defence themselves, I reckon they should go for it.
Valentine looking a little sore as he came from the ground as well. I'm just watching him get a rub and some advice from the medicos at the moment. Blitzar's fast hands, Enright handball intercepted Neal. Clark's wondering what he should do. The handball's a little loopy. Had to duck the tackle spur. Gives it to the left foot of Pearce. Got the 8 of the breeze. Here comes Fife. Over the top, couldn't hold on. Sandilands crouches over the footy. Has he made an attempt?
Thanks, boys. Straight up, please.
BT, you mentioned Hayden Valentine coming from the ground. He's just getting his left hammy tested out a little bit by the physio. He came off just a little bit ginger. Hopefully it's not too bad. Getting stretched out. Hopefully we'll be able to come back on the ground.
He did not look too happy when he was trying to explain it to the medicos. Just wondering how bad that is.
It looks like the physio, they're just choosing to loosen up the hip a bit, just maybe give him a bit more freedom. So the hammy maybe not too bad.
Fremantle getting an opportunity, or Varco. Cop Subin pretty high there, no free kick for it.
I reckon that's an existing situation with Valentine. Lingy did the same thing a little bit last week. Just coming off the ground, getting loosened up.
Maybe just in that scrimmage there where he hurt himself. Monday.
Legal disposal.
There's the loosening work going on the hip.
Thank you, thanks. Thank you.
The boys pointed out.
Unusual stretch, that one.
Forward motion, sort of
something you see every day.
Half-pike sort of operator. There's an opportunity for Neal to Crowley. Advantage paid because Mundy's marked the ball. They're out of the loop here. Pearce will want to get back onto the left boot. He just puts it in the hot spot. Sandlin's got the advantage in the height here. They're all over him. Taylor did well. He did not panic. Christensen to Kelly. Oh, brilliant stuff from the Geelong defence to get out of trouble there. And now Murdoch. Now they've found a way up the middle. Enright. Beautiful kick to Bartel. The Duke's in front. He's got the runner and McIntosh there. McIntosh has got it all to do now. What can the big man do? Didn't try and do it all himself. And back to Motlop. Good work, Geelong, on the counter-attack.
Let's have a look at this spoil from Harry Taylor. One of the rare occasions we've seen the Fremantle forwards get a one-on-one opportunity. Harry Taylor did really, really well. And McIntosh, good composure. Get a good look at how the Geelong forwards cope with this breeze here.
This is the home ground advantage coming into play. They've done this at training a million times.
You can see the flags at the top of screen there. Now Motlop, who will know this, as Richo said, done it 100 times or more at training. Kick on the way to the left, but he's allowed too much. Doesn't always mean you're going to kick them.
Yes, so gets in their heads as well.
Oh boy, he's working hard, Motlop. Good contest. You just feel that Fremantle have started to edge their pressure on the game now.
Yep, just winning a bit more of the footy and also getting their ball working well. The big thing, Enright and Harry Taylor have had 4 intercept marks each, which is way too much.
Gee, Geelong putting the clamp on here. That's all they had in the end, was the one-on-one to Pav. Now through the middle, little one there by Crozier. Neal, fast hands, Pearce. Overlap running here is very impressive. There's Sutcliffe, an opportunity for him to get to 50. Thought about the open goal. Barlow lets it go. Brilliantly done, Fremantle on the counter.
How good this ball movement from the Dockers. This is Geelong-like all the way through. Slick hands, overlap run, transition from half-back all the way through with a great goal in the end there for Sutcliffe. So they have really got a bit of momentum at the moment.
They have a really composed finish from Sutcliffe. Well done, Guthrie out of the middle. Duncan.
Holding, Geelong.
The advantage will be paid here. McIntosh in the middle. Wants it out wide here. Christensen. Harry Taylor has managed to sneak down though. He wanted the 50.
He just came back on the ground, Harry Taylor. He was heading down back, but sensed the situation and started moving forward.
He says to Hawkins, come at me in the pocket. That's where the space was. Instead, Kirsten came there and He and Hawkins meet.
And Lee Harry Taylor had a fairly slow start to the year by his enormous standards, but he's finishing in great form, isn't he?
Yeah, incredible form at the moment, Darcy. Even he said so himself. He wasn't happy with the way he was playing in the first half of the year, but he's lifted, and he's lifting his team at the moment.
Mitch Duncan has a little ping and hits the bottom of the post.
Well, he's done it all tonight, Harry Taylor. He's intercept marked. He's played a loose man, but when Sandilands went forward, he then defended 2 big one-on-ones against Sandilands. Hasn't been beaten in a contest tonight. He'll mark this probably.
Bit of traffic, spur, long footy, Ballantyne, a little nudge on Taylor.
Push, Geelong. Advantage.
Into the middle, Kelly.
Play on.
Kelly now launches long and wide. Here comes Hawkins. Dawson perhaps in the back, and the crowd said so, and Hawkins in disbelief.
Zach Dawson mugged Tom Hawkins. Have a look at this. How is this not a free kick? Oh, nothing doing. Oh, it's extraordinary.
The crowd didn't miss it.
No.
They don't miss much here, the Geelong crowd.
Main was under pressure, had to let it go. Really quick hands from Selwood. Christensen able to elude the tackle at the ground level. Murdoch with a bit of strength. Gives Clark the don't argue. Sat him on his backside.
It was quick Murdoch. They've added so much space to the pace to this side now. That was a
Grab him by the locks and pull him back.
karate style move, that one. Zach Clark. But they're fast now. Christensen's fast. Murdoch's lightning. At speed everywhere. Motlop's express.
Danger here for the Dockers. McFarlane in there working hard. Spur was there. Bartel again puts his head over the ball, and he tried to drive through the oncoming traffic.
Straight up, boys. Thank you. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Sean. I'll make this way. Holding, Nate, 5. Holding. Stay there. Let it go. Stay out. Yours.
Fife once again been very impressive here tonight. Here's Main with a good catch. Immediately plays on to Barlow. Now Barlow will need to use the ball. He's got Mundy inside. Tried to draw the handball. Had to go the little left footer. Ballantyne was being held high, I thought. Umpire let it go. Lonning had got one in the back.
Advantage.
Just couldn't draw the footy. Barlow there to get the handball over the top to Mundy.
Yeah, they had that one spare player there, the Dockers. They probably should have done better on that occasion.
Not sure who the defender was in the middle, but he did really well not to get sucked either way, Richo.
Their ball use is good at the moment, though, Fremantle. Geelong would be a little bit worried about that. Once Fremantle get through, they're really getting through dangerously, and it's probably not something we associate with Freo, that fast kamikaze ball movement, but they've been good tonight. Eventually, it will lead to goals.
Is that a change in their game they've made, do you think, Das, to go a little quicker?
Yeah, I think so. I think Ross Lyon put it on the agenda at the start of the year. He wanted to kick 2 more goals. And I think they're trying to adjust. They're trying to be a bit more attacking, a bit more aggressive.
Holding. Come back on.
It's just too big. Tommy Hawkins.
He has come a long way up the ground tonight, I've noticed, which you pointed out, Richo. Good ball to Duncan, who's now one of their permanent midfielders.
Big Sandy is sitting back, clogging it up at the moment.
Goes just short of Sandilands. Holland Smith onto it. Punts a little high footy, and gee, that was good body use by Hawkins. The umpire said play on, you ran off the mark. I think that's what he had ruled anyway, McFarlane. Now Hill from deep in defence. Can they get it over the top here? If they can, they're out. Fife, desperate attempt to mark the footy. Johnson was cool. Taylor, likewise. Now Duncan. Taylor again. They set up that triangle handball, and eventually they find a way out.
Hey, Geelong.
Let's have a listen here off the ball.
It's a free kick. It's a free kick. Go through. It was external bumped into. Let it go. Let it go. Right out. Go, TJ. Go down. Oh, my God.
Well, they're both in it
He got bumped into.
once again.
Yeah, I think he's got a little free one there, Stevie J.
Yeah, he made the most of that, Stevie. It was a bit of Hollywood stuff there.
There's that little deliberate kick around the corner from Stevie J that he's so good at. And Mackie for his second goal to lift them out of their seats. Mackie scores.
Well, let's have a look at that free kick again there. You can see a terrible decision by the umpire. No way that was a free kick. Umpires have got to make sure they don't get sucked into any acting going off the ball tonight, but great finish by Andrew Mackie nonetheless.
Gee, he's got a good leg on him, and Ringy just there with a little clip for his former teammate.
And the umpires are getting involved here, BT. 24 free kicks to Geelong. They average 16 a game. Now, no problems if they're there, but they are just guessing a bit at times here. And Stevie J, you know, Lingy calls it the way he sees it. That was an acting job, and everyone's done that before, but the umpire got sucked in.
Mundy beautifully back through traffic. Now, Ballantyne had committed to the lead, so they had to go back to Clark in right up there with the spoil. And Fremantle will be happy with this ball in at their forward end. There is James Kelly, the coaches, gathering their thoughts. 2 goals apiece in the second quarter. Blitzarv's caught on the hop there. Beautiful tap over the back. Sandy lands to Subin. Subin slipped the tackle, and as a result, Christensen got him high.
Mitch, half a metre, thank you. Push out, Paul.
Subin now to the top of the square. Here they come. Who's got the set? Main elevates over the top. Got a hand on it. Motlop was clean. Murdoch wonderful. Look at Motlop stretching through the middle. They can bust him open here. Motlop wants a runner. He's even had the little step in the middle there.
A little Campese style goose step there from Stevie Motley. Had good stat speed out of deep in defence.
Murdoch now to go again. So Enright slowed it and then got him moving again. Sandland's in there at ground level. Stevie J did well. Hawkins on the left around the corner. The run here by Duncan. Can he grab it? McFarlane went at him head high, I think the umpire's rule.
He slid in, got him high at ground level. It was a good kick by Hawkins. I'm not sure if he spotted Duncan. Either way, it turned into a good result for the Cats.
He won't miss this, directly in front. There's the shot. Duncan kicks the goal. 3 goals in this quarter for the Cats.
Well, this is game-breaking stuff by Stephen Motlop. He started that in his defensive 50, about 30 metres out, a little goosey, David Campese style. Kept going, kept running down the ground. That created the goal down the other end. He's having a spell on the bench now.
There's Fife again. Always on the move at the stoppage.
Get the 1 metre, please. Straight back.
And what Motlop is supplying Geelong, really, Fremantle need that out of Stephen Hill. Same sort of thing. Barlow, little one. Ballantyne had trouble trapping the footy. Took his eye off the footy there. Blitzarv's hair is Hill. Pushing through the contest, fast hands Pavlich, quick one out of the pack. I think it was De Boer, but Mackie again.
Yeah, that's where they have.
Fife it was.
Yeah, read it so well. Mackie on this occasion, the intercept mark, uncontested in defence to Harry Taylor. I love your point about Stephen Hill. He's down on confidence at the moment. He was quiet last week. Half a rolled ankle at the start of this game. He is the one player that really need to have a big second half.
Stay there, play on.
Love the way Geelong can control tempo. This man here is so good at it. Just knowing when to go, when to stop, when to go fast. And right, that is a ripping kick to Christensen. Didn't quite get there in the end. Neil cut it off. So did well. Spur advances the footy down. Pavlich went and got it. Squeezed the trigger with the handball to Pearce. Pearce with a little kick. Just got the journey, not paid the mark. Correct call. Now Pearce again, upended De Boer. Fast hands. Building here. Duffield fell over when he didn't need to. An opportunity once again for Crows. He had to go long, but Geelong get numbers back.
Their setup in their defence is just too good at the moment. They've always got numbers back. Freo have had nothing to kick to. They've lost a bit of their forward structure.
That's a kick that is very, very dangerous. Spur to Ballantyne. Had him done there, Enright. He was really closing fast. Christensen not going to let this go.
And in the past, where Fremantle have won games against the Cats, their entrance inside 50 have always been that short, sharp kick. You know, really able to punch their way through to Ballantyne when Walters has played. But tonight it's a long bomb. It's getting intercept mark regularly, Richo.
Yeah, and that means that Enright's had 11 disposals this quarter. Mackie 9, Harry Taylor 8, James Kelly 7, all defenders.
He is really sore, Ballantyne. You can see there with the doctor again. You see the limp coming off the ground. So he is really playing under sufferance at the moment. Pearce with a kick to Pavlich. Got to beat a couple. Hill drifting back.
Let it go.
And we'll get a shot from 25 metres.
On cue for you, Darcy, Stephen Hill.
Yeah, he's the one that the BT picked out as well as a player that he is the break the line Stevie Motlop player who's at his all-time best. Is an unbelievable player, almost impossible to stop, but I just feel he's down a bit. This might be it. Kick a goal here, an important one. Let's see if he can reignite the second half for Stephen Hill.
Well, to get it back to 17 points. You know he's a good kick. And that's straight through the middle, so Fremantle close to within 17 points.
The physio's got the machine out, and they have been working the hamstring over here with Hayden Ballantyne, and never a good sign of Richard. Body language sort of suggests that he's feeling very uncomfortable about being able to get back out there.
We've been off 2 or 3 times with the same complaint. What's that machine doing? Like vibrating or something, is it? Massaging it?
Gee, how was Selwood's clearance? I think so, Richo. I'm not exactly sure, but Selwood was very impressive. Now Spur. Held on to it a little too long and eventually taken over the line by Sutcliffe. There is the strapping now being applied after the machine work and then the massage and now the strapping. So if it was an actual hamstring, there's no way they'd put him back out there at this stage of the year. So it's got to be sort of cramp or
they're
maybe
working over the
injury.
hip, so maybe he's tied in the hip and the glutes. Lee, you're the most recently retired player. What do you think? Is that couldn't be a soft tissue, could it? They wouldn't let him back out there if it was.
Absolutely not. He's too important a player. I think it must be just a bit of an impingement in the hip or that lower back area, which can refer down the hammy a bit and just be a bit of tightness there and not allow him to move freely.
Here's the man they need to get out, and it was Hill to Pavlich. Pavlich turns. He's a long kick, we know that. It's a long footy deep into the attack, in right up. Fife there, gathers possession. He's got De Boer. Once again, Mackie and now Varco combining with Enright. Enright with the inch-perfect kick to Motlop. Got a hand there. Occasion to Johnson as Duffield sends it back inside 55. Over the top with a beauty from 4 deep.
That was just extraordinary. He wasn't even in the frame then, Fife. It was a horrible floated kick. Look at this, where he came back from. 4 deep. That is just an amazing marksmanship.
He just launches from all angles, Fife.
13 touches for the game. Fife with a kick to bring it back to 11, directly in front. Sensational stuff. Disregard for his own body, the way he throws himself at the ball. We're right behind him. Here's one for the Freo supporters, and he kicks the goal. Back to 11 points, a half a minute before half-time.
Kicked the last 2 goals. They just don't go away. Geelong have been the better team this quarter, dominated possession. They've taken 60 marks to the game, the Cats, so they're really controlling it, but they hang in there, Freo. And that man there's created something out of nothing. He had no right to mark that footy coming from 3rd deep. And as Das pointed out earlier, his set shot routine, he looks really confident in it now. He's obviously worked on it.
Well, you're looking on the screen there at in the best handful of players in the competition, and some would suggest with Gary Ablett out, he might be the most influential player in the game at the moment. Nate Fife is standing up in a really big game here for his side.
Joel Selwood trying to have something to say about that as well, talk about influence on games. We've got them both here tonight. Here's Neil, closing quarter of a minute of the game. Hill the ball inside 50. A mark will be a shot at goal. Pavlich and Taylor. Taylor knocked it down. Pavlich got the handball to Barlow. Barlow snap out of the pack. Couple of seconds left. I think the siren will go. It will. Great contest. Fremantle kicking 4 of the last 6 goals. They kicked the last 2 consecutively there. And that contest has been intriguing as well. Crowley and Johnson. And at halftime, Geelong by just 11 points. 7-4-46 to Fremantle, 5-5-35. He looks free in his movement all of a sudden. Perhaps we have got an exciting second half coming for you. And a fitness test for that man, I dare say, over the halftime break. Plenty to look forward to. Catch you on the other side of the break. Scores here at halftime as we're about to resume what should be a cracking second half of football. Geelong lead it by 11 points. Lingy's down there with the Gillette Precision Player Tracker. Lingy, what do you got for us?
Well, BT, for me, it's about Fremantle's ball movement, and something they've added to their game this year is their ability to transition the ball really quickly the length of the ground. To take that kick there is something that we don't often see. The run from behind, link up with a little bit of handball. It's taking risks. It's being bold with the footy. And that kick there, it could turn over. Happy to go to a contest. Soon as they're out, though, they use the corridor, link up with another handball, and away they go there. That's something that we probably haven't seen from Fremantle in the last couple of years, but when they move it like that, they look very, very dangerous, and a terrific goal there, coast to coast for the Fremantle Dockers. They need to do more of that in the second half. We know Geelong are defending really well, but if Freo move the ball like that, they will make them very nervous.
The Gillette tracker there. Let's have a listen to this.
We've got an hour to get the business done, but let's make sure the first 6 or 7 minutes here it's using the ball and use it smarter, guaranteed.
Yeah, Matthew Pavlich laying down the law in amongst that group there.
Yeah, very fortunately don't pick up often the final instructions from a captain before half-time, and they were instructions, weren't they? A lot about ball movement. Ross Lyon is a very technical coach. He would have addressed the issues, and the ones that we think are going forward of centre, not bombing it long, not letting Enright take uncontested marks. We've got to do a job on Harry Taylor, and in the past when they've beaten Geelong, their ball moving forward is really short, sharp, precise. They hit up the small forwards, so they need to adjust that. But aside from that, I feel like Fremantle are right in this game.
Oh, absolutely. Long, high kicks. Harry Taylor will mop it up every day of the week. Just having a look down there now. It looks like it's 6 on 6 in each forward line. No loose men. Harry Taylor's got the job on Zach Clark. So it's a one-on-one game at this first centre bounce of the third quarter.
All right, we're ready to go. Geelong by just 11 points. Fremantle finished that second quarter strongly. They are kicking uphill. The breeze has completely gone. There are now benign conditions favouring neither end, obviously. Little kick over the top. Spurs handball's intercepted. Sutcliffe gets on the end of it, kicks wide. Rivers doing well in the bodywork. Got some support from Johnson. Little handball out the side door there to Crozier. Now Mundy. Beautiful kick, Pavlich. Now we saw him kick from here in the first quarter into the wind. Didn't have the distance, but no wind this time.
And that is a much better kick. That's exactly what they want to do. It would have been
Shot at the flag. Yeah.
They had the video out at half-time as well, and showing that that is the hit-up kick that will cause the Geelong defence a bit of drama.
So Pavlich, here he is. You can see those same flags on the flagpoles, top right. Not even a flutter. Pavlich, a fluffer.
That's a shank.
That's the worst kick he's ever kicked in his life, Matty Pavlich. He's never struck one
He's
that
such
badly.
a good kick. That's hard to explain.
309 games, that's his worst ever.
Hey, Geelong had 25 free kicks in the first half. That's the most by any team in a half of footy this year. 16 was the next best by the Gold Coast Suns in round 2. So been on the right end of the umpires tonight.
Here's Motlop again, busts them open. So good at this. Just a little fumble when he was ready to kick over the top of the wall. Bartel turns around, got an open goal square, needs a good, clean, straight bounce. Bartel has kicked 3.
This is Matty Pavlich's 3,746th kick in AFL football, and he's never struck one worse than that. And unfortunately, it went straight down the other end, and this great Geelong side made them pay.
And at the other end, Bartel with that kick, as you say, Das. Mundy out of the middle again. High footy. Pavlich muscled under the footy from Lonigan. First to recover, though. Mackie there again. Little soccer. Here's an opportunity with Crozier. Went back searching for Subin. Kept control. Avoided the tackle a little. A little handball back in here. Shot at goal by Crozier. And Crozier's nailed one for Fremantle.
We just noticed Nat Fyfe grabbing a little bit of his left shoulder. He's had issues with his right shoulder before. There's that great goal from Crozier. Hit back quickly. Still out there, Nat Fyfe, but we'll keep an eye on him.
Crozier and Sutcliffe before tonight had kicked 1 goal between them. Tonight they've kicked 3 of their 6 goals. 2 unlikely goal kickers. De Boer
Looks like there's a bit of a change on Nat 5-2. Haaland Smith looks to be the man running with him at the moment.
Did he throw that as well, Big Hammer? He just lost all his feet. Fell on his backside. There's Cully. It was a rather interesting topple for the big man. Smother was brilliant. Fife it was again, but the composure with the kick just missing a little.
Just always in the right spot, Harry Taylor. Just reads the play so well.
Cut off here is on, but the Mackie kick is far too good to McIntosh. McIntosh this time looking to give Hawkins, and Motlop worked his way to the front. Motlop was actually waiting for Hawkins to come past, and he beat Duffield in the one-on-one.
Oh, he'll be flat with that effort, Duffield.
Not helping Ruckman's cause here, big McIntosh. He got cleaned up by a ghost out there on the wing, I think.
He made up for it there, Duff.
Yeah, he did.
That was a great kick. Good advantage there.
Motlop this time. Goal umpire doesn't move. Geelong back out to 17 points. So Motlop really sure of that. He liked it. The moment he nailed it off the boot, normally you know, you can actually feel it under your foot. So 2 goals to 1 in this quarter, favouring Geelong. Out of the middle. Remember, no breeze now. That's completely dissipated. So scoring at each end, very gettable.
Straight back, keep the metre.
Umpire Matt Stevick in there, one of the very best in the business. Christensen handball smothered. Haaland Smith made it hard. Selwood putting his head over the footy as well. Fremantle equal to the task in the middle with Pearce and Sutcliffe.
Just had the binoculars on Nate Fife, and he's really holding that arm. It's really causing him some trouble, the left arm at the moment. So let's hope it's not enough to take him out of the game.
Duncan trying to get it wide. The little ball, Selwood was able to throw the tackle and give Haaland Smith some chance. Mackie got met high.
So I think I said left arm, it's his right arm, the shoulder that's not strapped is the issue for Nate Fife.
So Mackie might have just received a little glancing blow here, and it's just displaced him somewhat. Perhaps he may not take the kick here.
Just hold on.
If he doesn't, he'll have to come from the ground. So definitely got a little whack.
If you don't think you can take your kick, take your time and just move away and want someone else to take the kick.
So accidental contact. But he's definitely feeling the effects of it. And maybe some delayed results here as well. So let's hope he's okay. Motlop now goes forward and deep inside 50. Sandland's got one paw on it. Spills to Murdoch. Around on his favoured left side. Here comes McFarlane.
And that's the sort of play as Andrew Mackey's a bit more worse for wear than we maybe first thought. It made Luke McFarlane one of the best defenders in the game. His ability to read the ball in the flight of the air, as we saw then.
So Mackie just on the left of your screen there, coming off the ground now. There he is. And he looked a little sicker as he got towards the bench. Sutcliffe now. A kick to a 1-on-3. Ballantyne's got to beat all the big boys, and that was never going to happen.
And that's number 6 now, marked from opposition for Harry Taylor. They've got to find a way around him. Zach Clark's tried to take him out of play, but he's just reading the play too well.
So any other suggestions there, Richo, to try and curb the influence of Harry Taylor?
Well, you just need to get a player on him, play on him that knows the right position to go to, how to draw the footy. And
so that player has to be dangerous, yeah?
Yeah, well, you have to get into the right spots because Taylor's just reading the play too well at the
They
moment.
also had options through the middle of the ground short, Richo, and I think that's just playing to the style that they wanted. They don't want to bomb that long kick. It was a 1-on-3. Ballantyne was never, ever going to be able to bring that one to ground.
Pearce doing well.
And you've also got to be prepared to not lead on him as much. As soon as anybody leads on him, he just comes back off them. Sometimes you just got to be prepared to stand there and want to beat him in a one-on-one contest. Stop trying to get the ball easy, lace out on a lead.
This patch of play right in front of where Cameron Ling sits, next to his Geelong bench, his beloved Geelong bench. Guthrie. Off hands, Hill, caught, just a little kick. Probably didn't need to kick it, but in the end, he had to get rid of it, I guess.
Guys, Geelong have activated their concussion sub. Josh Caddy's just coming onto the ground now, so Andrew Mackie will take that 20 minutes to get checked out. before they decide if he can come back onto the ground.
It's a great rule, Lingy. A really good rule. Kick wide now to Rivers, who's been good tonight. Now Blitzarves. Many say the best endurance athlete in the competition. I'd love to see him and Isaac Smith run it out. Here's Hawkins, little low ball, good movement here. Kirsten's got it, Reels on the right. Now the heavy ball inside 50, Spur did well, Howley's position. Christensen got crunched and no prior opportunity there.
There's Luke McFarlane having a little bit of work done on his legs at the moment. Read an article today, Gary Lyon wrote in the paper saying maybe he should go forward now this stage of his career. Why wouldn't you ever think about him going on to Harry Taylor? We know he's a great overhead mark. It'll give Harry Taylor something to think about. It's going to be something for Ross Lyon to consider.
And he's played on Kirsten a lot of the night. Kirsten's had no influence, so it probably wouldn't hurt to try something different.
He's kicked 5 goals 5 times in a game, McFarlane, so he's capable. It would certainly give Harry Taylor a bit to think about.
I like it.
Gee, these free kicks are really adding up now for the Dockers.
Well, this one's going to Christensen.
And I can't remember thinking they haven't been there. Geelong have just been hard in at the footy and drawn free kicks.
There it is.
Christensen wins the footy, gets caught high.
Yeah, definitely high.
Can't complain. You get in first, you get the frees.
To equal the game high 23-point margin, and he's got it. So Geelong by 23. Everything's okay, he's saying.
Saying that's mint.
Yeah, got it under control. 3 Geelong goals in the quarter. Doing all of the attacking. They lead it by 23.
It's been a nice inclusion, hasn't he? Pre-season back surgery. Christensen, season high 29 last week, and he looks in really good touch.
Sandilands caught on the hop there. And they've just put Sandilands back to full forward now to try and drag Harry Taylor back to that goal square.
It's just a bit too smart for that Harry Taylor. He'll play in front, work to his strengths.
Pavlich and Hill, dangerously here. Duffield gives it to Spur. Spur can go backwards and find some space and time for Neil here. Neil goes wide, but the kick's got to be good to Barlow. Barlow made it look really good. Unlucky not to be paid the mark there in the end. Now he's got to extract the footy. Stokes is all over him. The sub. Caddy come in for assistance as well. Kirsten's there. Blitzarves is there. They're arriving in big numbers, but they don't have a win. A little underground handball by Neil to Mundy. Mundy kept it alive, gained some yardage. Now Fife goes at it with Kelly. Fife did really well, kept the ball alive. Hurt his shoulder again as he fell, I reckon. And now Kelly's got to go. Pavlich is there, having a red-hot dip here, the Dockers at the moment. But Geelong are just too good. Oh, the Fife tackle on Caddy was wonderful. Umpire letting it go too. Neil in the end to Sutcliffe. Little kick around the corner, they reload. Barlow fell over himself. Now Mundy goes long and deep. Here's Ballantyne. They get a win out of all of that, Freo.
I know we've seen the praises of that man on screen, Nat Fire. He's sore, but he just committed himself to that tackle. He's got a sore shoulder. He had no regard for that. He just wanted it more. And this is a big moment in the game. To stay in touch, Ballantyne has to kick this one.
It was good stuff, and you can just feel for Fife. You know he's sore, being escorted off. He's clutching that right arm, right shoulder. Big kick for Ballantyne here. They're starting to get away a little, the Cats, and Ballantyne pokes it to the right.
They can't buy a set shot goal down that end of the ground tonight. The wind's died off. You couldn't blame the breeze then.
No breeze at all here at the moment. Hawkins, Crowley in amongst it, sneak a little handball back into the ball, put him under the pump.
You guys mentioned how sore Nat Fife is. He's just come to the bench. Well, they can't use him as the sub anymore because Luke McFarlane has been subbed off. He's out of the game. Max Duffy in. So Fife, even if he is sore, he's going to have to play out the rest of the game.
Did you say Luke McFarlane's gone?
He's been subbed out, absolutely, BT.
Gee.
That has to be an injury.
Yep. Big news there. McFarlane subbed out of the game. So this means that Duffy, the first gamer, will play the rest of the game. Boy from East Fremantle. There's Fife. There is McFarlane sitting in the back row. Stretching as Duncan.
So it's a big issue for Fremantle at the moment. Got Nate Fife with a shoulder that's a concern. Ballantyne's had work done on his hip and hamstring, and McFarlane out.
And here's Murdoch, who's a left footer, closing fast. And misses to the right badly. Kept alive here by the Dockers. And Main now.
Thanks, George.
Just slowing things down, and they are in a spot of bother here at the moment, Fremantle. They need something special to dig themselves out of this little hole. Sutcliffe has found a bit of space at half-back. Motlop comes to him. The kick is good to Ballantyne. Ballantyne wants someone to come boundary. Spur does. He ignores that now. Goes the longer option to Pavlich. Pavlich and Lonigan. Ball remains in the field of play. Christensen wasn't that clean. A little shuffle, push of the footy. There's Caddy, the activated sub for Mackie, who's out under that 20-minute concussion rule at the moment.
Lonigan's been all over Pavlich as well. He can't draw the footy. And then you've got Taylor, Enright and Mackie mopping up around him. Mackie's off now with the concussion rule, but it just looks very hard to see Freo kicking a score at the moment.
Hey, Lee, is Tom Lonigan the most underrated player in this Geelong side? Richo's made a great point. We don't talk about him a lot, but Matty Pavlich, 8 possessions, no goals. Lonigan just doing another great job.
Yeah, no doubt, Darcy. And he's done it all year, and I think it's his role that he plays which allows Harry Taylor to come off and take those intercept marks, Andrew Mackie, Jared Rivers to do the same, because they know that Tom Lonigan's going to lock down on the opposition's best key forward, do a job week in, week out. They can then read the play and help out.
Coaches, I think, sit on opposite sides of the ground here, do they not?
I think you're right.
Yep, they do. There is an opportunity. There is the first gamer. Duffy, with his first kick in footy, says, I can do it. I'm good at this. Yeah. So Duffy here did it really well the first game with his first kick. Overlooked in a couple of drafts. Then went to the Waffle via East Fremantle. Former under-16 state basketball representative as well. And here he now finds himself in the big league. And Fife, it's been a brave, courageous continuation for him here tonight.
And that shoulder just continues to get worked over. He's in trouble again with it.
Geelong know every time, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Every time they're going to make him hurt.
And there's Taylor again.
Somehow Fremantle have got it back to a respectable 16 points. And they are fighting on very bravely here at the moment. There's Dawson, Duffield, Sutcliffe and Sandilands all combining. Sandilands high footy. Zach Clark the target. Fitzarves did well with a crunching spoil. Guthrie through some traffic. Clark caught him high.
Go, mate, go. Straight up, let him go.
Joe, you just said Harry Taylor again. Unbelievably, he has taken 16 marks. That is a phenomenal effort for the champion Geelong player. And I know we're repeating ourselves. I know we've said it time and time again. Fremantle have got to work out a way to limit his influence on this game. At the moment, just a massive role.
Do you almost put it like a tagging forward onto him?
I think they're going to have to, Richo, because whatever they're trying now is not even close to working.
16 marks equals his career high, guys, and we're only halfway through this third quarter.
On the man. Thanks, boys. Straight back to him. Stay there. Time back on.
Bartel arriving late. Over the back was Johnson. Working dangerously on the perimeter was Selwood. Bowled out of the way. Now Subin has got to hit Fife here. Fife can get it and go, but he's got no one down the line. That's why he stopped. You may say, why didn't he play on?
Thank you.
He had no one forward.
Because the Geelong team play this ground so well.
Interception by Duncan. The turnover here is going to hurt. Christensen inside 50. Good kick. And Crowley and Selwood collide. Matt Stevick says, settle, boys. Crowley turns to the crowd. Says, you've got to be gagging.
He's just got that little grin on his face, hasn't he, the whole time, Crowley?
I reckon he was hoping he fell on him. And this is the sort of treatment that Fife's been getting every time he gets the footy. Even when he tries to get up.
Look at him. He's tough, isn't he, to keep going.
So now Selwood. Fair bit of angle to deal with there. Bending back magnificently. Caught almost the back of the post. 5.5 to go in the third quarter. Geelong by 17.
Of course, he would have loved to kick that goal, but I reckon he would have loved it even more because about 30 seconds before he took that mark, Joel Selwood and Ryan Crowley had themselves a very nice little wrestle. A bit of heat going on there, so this constant rivalry between Geelong and Ryan Crowley continues well and truly in this game.
Stay there, Trav. Stay there. Right there.
Crozier.
I just feel like Fremantle are just hanging in there at the moment. Their ball use has dropped a little bit. They're not able to get that flowing play that we saw a couple of times break this Geelong defence open. And you've got a few concerns, haven't you? McFarlane subbed out. We've spoken a lot about Fife being winged at the moment. So they've got, it feels like, Rich, a massive task ahead at the moment, the Dockers, to find a way here.
But they've just got to find a winner inside 50.
See if they can do that. There's an opportunity for Pavlich. Hasn't been able to mark the ball all night, Pavlich. End right, squeeze the little handball to Varco. Brilliant kick to Bartel. Just went with the one hand, Bartel, but did well against Spur. Holland Smith now. Beautiful presentation. Kirsten. Just along the boundary. To Bartel again. Bartel on the left. He could have almost been in the back then from Freo. Crowley looked guilty.
And he gave the umpire the thumbs up then, Ryan Crowley, just to say, hey, thank you. It would be interesting to have another look at that. We will at some point. Stevie, well, he conned the umpires a really interesting one just before half-time, so maybe they've had a bit of a look at that.
Fife again. Launching. Varco. High footy working back. Dawson. Almost a good mark to Bartel. Sneaky handball. I think that was Murdoch in and under there. Recovered. Duffield there. Crozier there as well on the bottom of the Hawkins mount. And here's Crozier. Crowley and Johnson.
They're lucky they got away with that then. Bartel was on his own and nearly marked the footy.
You've got to admire his permanent smile. Crowley, Hill, danger here, picked up, bang, Stokes goals. Or does he? Misses.
They're pressing at the moment.
The Cats, 3-goal lead, Ridjo, 3.5 minutes in the third remaining.
Wouldn't want to cough another one up here. And only kicked 7 for the night and you're 4 down at three-quarter time. It's a long way home.
Yes, indeed. Gee, that's tough for a play on. He stepped out of bounds.
No, that is not 15 metres.
Well, look where he stands. Gee, I thought it was. But anyway, there's only centimetres in it, I guess.
Keep the metre! Keep the metre!
Fremantle under enormous pressure here in the dying minutes of the third quarter. Sandlin's just trying to drop it at his feet there. Crowley at his menacing best. He said to Crowley, face the footy. Hawkins trying to force a separation between them.
That's good umpiring, though. That's what Crowley's been instructed to do from the umpiring department. You have to be looking at the footy. You can't be just facing Stevie J and not worrying about anything else.
Maybe a little dislocated finger there for Lockie Neal, trying to pull that back in. A lot of banging off the ball. It's been the order of the night here. Barlow through the little hole there. Neal slung in the tackle after he'd got rid of it. He didn't like it. Look at him and Hawkins go face to face as De Boer tried to find Clark, but Taylor read it.
He's the Berlin Wall at the moment.
Duncan.
Thank you.
Career high now, 17 marks. Career high intercept marks as well for Harry Taylor.
Duncan. Really deep. Dawson. Moving dangerously here. Barlow. 2:23 remaining. Can't afford to concede a goal here, and one for them would be nice. Hill is a guy that can provide some run and penetration. That is horrible. Ross Lyon said he doesn't normally do that. So much happening off the ball here. Varco on the right side of that picture. In the meantime, play goes on. The Varco fracas is worsening as Bartel is marked. Really grumpy, a lot of these players. Bartel short to blitz halves, and he marks 55 out.
Stay out. Hey, then, with me. Yeah, you're right there. Hold off. Move it on.
He's lining up for goal umpire. You've still got to give him his 30 seconds. Popped it up, fall short, Caddy. Around on the left. Great goal. Geelong by 24 points. So Travis Varco, just a little swipe there at Subin.
Here we go.
Now, Lingy, I want you to find out what's happening with Mackie as well. I believe there's only a minute left in that 20-minute period as Varco and Subin continue at it. Only a minute left in that 20-minute period there for them to decide on that concussion ruling. So do you know what's happening with Mackie, Lingy?
No movement yet, BT. Josh Caddy hasn't gone to put the green vest back on. And as you said, under a minute now.
Well, they've brought him to the bench so they can make that decision just in case it goes either way, I assume, Lingy.
Yeah, absolutely. Give themselves an opportunity.
Yep.
And at the moment, no movement.
Subin to Ballantyne. A game-high 24-point margin here now with under a minute remaining. Tempers getting a little iffy here at the moment. Sutcliffe pulled the kick when he saw the pressure coming at him from Stokes.
They just had no influence in the game at all. Hayden Ballantyne, no goals, just 7 possessions. It's really been something in the past. Ballantyne, Walters, who we know is available for selection, has missed almost the whole year. So,
well,
guys, Geelong have decided Andrew Mackie can come back into the game. So Josh Caddy's put the green vest back on. Mackie getting ready to come back into the play.
Okay, well, here's Kelly now. Centering kick to Guthrie. He can keep going with a little handball opportunity for Duncan. Now the wheels of Motlop. He's fast. Daniel Pearce realised he had to work the angle on him. Try and get in front of him that way. In the meantime, Motlop pitches 30. Kicks the long ball to Bartel and Hawkins. What great targets they are. Varco now under enormous pressure. Another goal here would just about seal it for the Cats.
Tomahawk wasn't sure the whistle was gone, so he's still trying to pretend he's getting rid of it.
4 seconds. Can't afford to give away a silly free kick here, Fremantle. Just got to possess the footy. And three-quarter time comes. Not quick enough for the Fremantle Dockers. That man is in immense pain. Geelong by 24. Have Freo got anything left in the tank? We'll find out on the other side of the break. Big contest in the house, Simmons Stadium, Geelong's home territory. Mackie was able to pinch one from half-back. From long range, 50 out, bombed it. He enjoyed it. Bartel was at his hardest. He kicked 2 first-quarter goals, and Geelong led by 16 at quarter-time. The second quarter, Selwood was brilliant. He's one of the best men on the ground. He's one of the best in the competition. We know that. He just kept getting the footy. But this man here, Mackie, snuck down again from halfback. 2 goals, netting 110 metres. He's enjoying the moment. Fife, a big grab and goal, kept Fremantle in the hunt. Just 11 points down at the major break at halftime. Then the third quarter, Geelong got hold of things. They kicked 4 goals to 2 in this quarter. Bartel kicked his third. Fife continued to get hammered, and he is sore. Ouch for Nate Fife.
Cats have led at every break. It's a 4-goal margin here at three-quarter time. Let's get down to Lingy.
Well, Darcy just spoke, or BT just spoke about Nat Fife. We can see him. This is at three-quarter time, just leaving the ground to go down the race. So some real concerns for him. It's his right shoulder. He's really been favouring. Hasn't he been copping an absolute hammering? Amazing that he just keeps getting back up, keeps winning the football and trying to help his team. He's going to stay out in the ground in this last quarter and try and help his team over the line. Luke McFarlane was subbed out for Freo in that third quarter. Believe it's a calf injury. So a few injury concerns for Fremantle. Geelong, they were very, very good in that third quarter. They'll be looking to come home big in this last quarter and give this home crowd plenty to cheer about.
Well done, Lingy. You've got to admire Nate Fife. I mean, yeah. Ross Lyon would love his attitude, Richo.
Oh, of course he would. He's a competitor. He wants to get out there. That's really, really bad news if it is a calf for Luke McFarlane. They do call it the old man's injury in footy and in sport. When you start getting calves when you're into your 30s, he's had a history. It was hard for him to get back this year. And there's the live ladder. BT Freo
Up into fourth there.
I think they're already there tonight, but what happens is Geelong get that extra 4 points. The top two might be gone for the Dockers.
Yeah, Porter currently down against the Swans.
There's McFarlane, red-vested.
Yeah, it's a real worry for me where he's now at, Luke McFarlane. He's been an unbelievable player for the Dockers. It's really concerning now heading to the finals with a calf at this stage. Can you play a meaningful role?
Have you been able to check out the McFarlane issue and whether that is, you know, possibly threatening the rest of his year?
Well, they weren't too forthcoming on information. They gave us that it was precautionary, the reason why he's been subbed out, but that's not surprising. Freo playing their cards close to their chest.
Well, that's good if it is that.
He's done a calf this year.
Yeah.
So maybe they are just being careful with it, with finals to come.
And they know that if you do a calf proper, it's a 3 to 4 week injury, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they would need to be very careful. There's the first game of Duffy onto Ballantyne. This one had worked beautifully, and Ballantyne's been able to wrap it around the posts. Back to 18 points. Hey, enjoy this. Duffy with a beauty little handball to Ballantyne. They are within 3 goals. It's perfect football conditions. There's not a breath of wind. There's no moisture. This can be done.
And the scoring end they're going to in this last quarter.
And here's Crowley with some desperate, courageous players in their side against this really composed Geelong star-studded outfit. We have got a cracking last quarter for you. Caddy taking a seat again after Mackie has proved his fitness. So he'll be launched at some stage. Taylor straight to Crowley. Crowley looking for the little one to Sandlands, who was dominant early in the game. Haven't seen much of him since, have we, Big Sandy?
He started on fire, took marks at either end.
Put him up, please.
He's just drifted out of the game, only had the 11 possessions, Big Sandy, so they need
Keep the meter.
big last quarter here, Lingy.
Credit to Ryan Crowley too. He's kept Stevie J to 14 possessions, hasn't kicked a goal as well. Stevie will be looking to have a big last quarter to bring his team home.
Yeah, heaps of upside for Freo. Spur, James Kelly had another really consistently good year. Barlow off a half a step. Pavlich hasn't offered a lot tonight. Lonigan got him there.
Yeah, Lonigan's been outstanding. Taking the #1 forward, does the job most weeks, frees up his other defenders around him.
Enright, cool to Selwood.
How lower pulse rate was Corey Enright going? He got a shocking handball there under all sorts of pressure. His demeanour doesn't change ever on a football field. He's a freak.
He is brilliant. So Fremantle have owned the ball in their forward half. 100% of the ball here in the third quarter, which is 3 minutes long now, has been, with the exception of these few seconds, for Freo. Guthrie, a turnover here. Duncan, a really good finisher, we know that. Chipping ball out the corner, his eye to Christensen.
That was clever from Mitch Duncan.
Christensen gets up, plays on, and he sees Bartel. So alive and aware, these Geelong players.
And Jimmy Bartel going for his 4th goal. Equal career high this will be. He's been able to find...
Is that right? Only kicked 4 once before.
Yeah. It's an equal career high if he kicks this.
You don't sound that confident with Joe.
Well, I'm not sure how many times he's kicked 4, Brian. Right. I know that it's his career high, 4.
Oh, you've gone with it. So
he could have kicked it 5 times, but that's his highest.
Right behind Bartel here. And he's missed, so Fremantle supporters breathe a sigh of relief.
No, he's only done it once. Career high.
That surprises me, BT.
Round 1 this year it was, Richo.
Yeah, there you go. Do you ever get the feeling someone's telling me this information?
Hold there.
Never give away your sources, Richo. Here's Barlow. Boy out of Assumption College. By the way, Assumption College putting their AFL, VFL team of the century together. 164 players to choose from. Barlow will be possibly one of those. Here's Rivers. That event coming up in Feb. Rivers goes down the line. Bartel reaches from a long way back and That's continued, you can tell, from the jumper.
He's a good mark, isn't he, Jimmy Bartel?
Have a look at this. He's got one on either side trying to rip him down the middle, trying to separate his sternum. Oh, boy, they're trying to rip him open.
Stevie's like, give us a spell, will you, boys?
So he's coming off. I'm not sure why he's coming off. The umpire is escorting him off. Is there any blood?
You've got to come off for a rip jumper there.
No, it's a blood rule. It must be a blood rule. There must be some blood somewhere.
Can't see it.
Neither can I.
It's the rip jumper rule, this is.
Surely not. There's no such thing.
I've never heard of it, but I can't give you another explanation.
You're allowed to hulk yourself around a bit.
He's come off because of the jumper.
Oh, come on.
Surely you're allowed to get a peck out every now and then.
We haven't stopped the game because of a rip jumper. We are soft. I saw you guys with gloves on in the pre-game. You're soft too. Here is Bartel. Can he learn from the last one? No. Sticks in exactly the same spot.
It's covered up.
Half a metre, mate. Yeah, thanks.
It's after 9:30. I think everything's all right. Duffield wide. Got to get cracking here, Freo. Little one out the back. Pavlich inside to Lockie Neal. He fell over. Went to the better kicker anyway. Hill, a little one. Ballantyne got to come at the footy. High tackle almost on Murdoch. Hill keeps going, tries to rip it out. Now Ballantyne under Harry Taylor pressure.
That's the one they have to hit, and unfortunately Stephen Hill, as Stevie J gets his bit of composure back, has a drink. They have to hit that lead-up short target and then go deeper from there if they are to put some pressure on here.
Looked great, that jumper framed, won't it? Stevie J, sold for charity. Just a superb memento of the great contest that those two have had over the years. That would be a treasure. So make no mistake, it's just a 7, 8, 10-minute period from Fremantle, and this game is alive. It's just over 3 goals. Barlow goes deep. Off hands Fife, ran into his own man, got the handball out in front. Here's the first game of Duffy around the corner.
Shown a bit, Max Duffy.
Yeah.
Just finding the footy in the right spots.
And again, it was Nat Fife's ability just to create something out of nothing. It was a 1-on-1, 2-on-2 contest. Ability to get a bit of separation on from his Geelong opponent, win the footy and dish the ball off. Outstanding play.
Ballantyne in front here, in right in amongst it as well. So Fremantle locking it at their end at the moment. Little handball to Selwood. He put his shoulder down and tried to charge through.
Thanks, boys. Thank you. Straight up, please.
So Duffy, just 21 years of age. Late for a debut, but as I say, he was overlooked in a couple of drafts.
It's good to see guys getting that opportunity, though, isn't it, to get overlooked?
Playing the higher levels, whether it's a VFL, the Waffle or the Sandful, you're always going to be a chance. Here's Zach Clark, so Fremantle trying to keep this game alive. Pavlich fly over the top, couldn't win it. Lonigan to Guthrie, turned into a little bit of trouble. Lockie Neal to keep it alive, got around one. Centering ball, umpire said play on, not the journey. Guthrie's got to do it all again. Fremantle fighting on here.
See that pressure, it's really good. It's back in this quarter.
They have got it locked in this quadrant. Let's watch the Purple Haze do their best work in tight here. Sandilands, De Boer, Pavlich, Main, they're all there. Duffield eventually. Barlow kick around the body. This is going to land for Subin. Did really well, Harry Taylor. That is a game saver. And Guthrie again dumped.
You know what is amazing about Fife? He's got a bad shoulder, he's playing under duress, but his physical strength, he ragdolls players when he tackles them.
There's the first game of Duffy, yet another snap. This one's bounced beautifully for him. Did he get it? Yes, said the goal umpire.
Every time he's touched it, there's a score. Duffy, 4 touches, 4 score involvements.
Well, this is some Fremantle pressure that they're so famously renowned for here.
And Geelong have put their sub on the ground now. And we saw Josh Caddy have a brief go at this game when Andrew Mackie was subbed off for the concussion rule, but now it's George Hall-and-Smith who's off for the rest of the game, and Josh Caddy in, so they've been able to inject a little bit of life into that midfield to hopefully be able to get them out of the position they're in now, because Fremantle really pressing hard.
Oh, here they come again, Freo. They've got another look. Pierce with an inside-out banana high footy. Here they go. They're closing. Barlow there almost had it on the chest. It spills. Once again, Duffy. He just keeps having pings at the goal. Kelly to the boundary. Enormous pressure being created by Freo.
Really clever little flick back inboard there from Barlow. It was. Got it in the direction of that man on debut, Duffy. They've got a bit of pressure building here at the moment, the Dockers.
They have got them in the cooker at the moment. Can they capitalise on the scoreboard? That's the important pass. The left footer of Pierce, the dribbling ball in right. They are peppering. And he's gone out of the goal square, has he? No, signal first.
Yeah, Enright wanted to get it moving quickly because he could see a fast break opportunity, but called back.
So they're going to have to do it all again.
In now. Play on.
There's a good look at this clamp being applied by Freo. This one, they go down the middle. In front is De Boer. Hill runs onto the loose footy. He needs some help. Pierce should have gone. He waited. Good dispossessing tackle. Once again, De Boer's there. Caddy's there as well. Ball won't come out.
Play on.
It does eventually.
Play on.
Pierce with the smother. Spur to Sutcliffe. Every little kick helps. Around the corner, Barlow. Again, another little stumpy kick to the top of the square. It's got through. It bounces.
It's a goal.
Is it a goal? Yes! Fremantle are back in it.
He just got the ball on 50.
That may well be the best 5 minutes of footy Freo have played this year in terms of pressure. They've locked it in, gave themselves multiple scoring opportunities, and now they're back to the half-time margin of 11 points. Boy, this game's gone up a notch, and who steps to the plate? Big time himself, Jimmy Bartell. It'll be cut off, Lachie Neale.
The Dockers are now playing Nat 5 as their full forward. He's staying at home. He's one out on Guthrie.
Hill trying to upset the run of Johnson there. Did well, tried to turn Johnson inside out, but that's a tough feat.
And Nat Fife, you mentioned at full forward. Aaron Sandilands has continued to play that role on Harry Taylor, just trying to force Harry to have to go with him. Sandilands so dangerous because he's so tall when he's forward. Harry Taylor's playing on him, cutting out his influence.
Get excited. We've got a good one. Barlow has been brilliant in this last quarter. There's a trap by Fife. Dished it out. Crozier. Or was it Lachie Neale? It was Neale. Barlow again, he's knocks up getting it. Now Hill can score from here. He can get it and go. They cut off his left foot. They made him kick the left foot banana. What a goal! What an attempt! No misses.
Gee, Fife was good again then, wasn't he?
It's a great move to have him forward. I don't think he's not at full capacity with the shoulder. Yeah, why not get him deep and make 3 or 4 possessions count? And he's so dangerous, he could kick 2 or 3 if he gets those opportunities.
Closest they've been since the 11-minute mark of the second quarter here. And now another opportunity for Crozier in front, but they've got it locked in again.
Warriors as dangerous as they've looked up forward now. Sandilands got Harry Taylor finally playing one-on-one deep in the goal square. Pavlich has got Lonergan, Fife down there, and Ballantyne just starting to look a little more dangerous.
Okay, 70% of the play has been in Fremantle's forward half in this final quarter. They are dominating. Now Johnson with a little chip kick. This one's a tough one in the middle of the ground. Barlow was there. Sutcliffe corralled his Mundy, gave it to Johnson under pressure. Did well. Johnson didn't panic.
Did really well.
Now Sutcliffe gathers a difficult ball. Goes down the line looking for Clark. McIntosh went to ground. Now Clark goes to ground as well. McIntosh trying to extract the footy. He's got it, but he's got Pavlich all over him. Forced to get rid of it. In goes Blitzarves. Turns out. Very good play, Blitzarves. Long footy. Geelong forward in. Johnson again. Anyone's ball. Varco lurking. De Boer went back defensively. Got caught in the tackle. No free. Now Main. They gather.
Jeez, how good is this contest at the moment? McIntosh and Blitzarves were brilliant then. Won a big contested ball. And you look at the contested possessions there. Fremantle suddenly on top. And heap of time left in this one. And they are right back in at Fremantle.
Geelong by just 10 points. Fremantle have kicked all of the goals in the last quarter. Here's Varco. He straightens and he too has missed to the left.
Gee, he had a good look at it too. Zach Dawson did really well. The ball came out. It was a quick kick forward. I thought Hawkins had him in a one-on-one, but Dawson did well and at least got it to ground.
2 goals for to 3 behinds in this quarter. Fremantle's way, obviously.
Yours, mate.
Now they go again. One-on-ones everywhere. Stevie J in front of Crowley. Selwood there as well. Weighing around the ball. Rivers picks it up, gives it to Blitzarves. Done well in the crunch. Gave a little one back to McIntosh. McIntosh now forward with the kick. Here's Spur. Hawkins did him beautifully. Protected the drop zone of the footy. There, Hawkins. 75 metres from the Geelong goal. 26,855 here tonight. Caddy the sub. Almost within range. Just pops it up to the top of the square. Over the back come Guthrie, but Main in front.
Stay there.
What a brave mark that was from Chris Main.
Gee, that kick's gone perfect, doesn't it?
Jeez, it was a nervous kick.
Oh, the poise of these modern day players, unbelievable. The composure under pressure. Duncan, like that, to handball while rolling on his back to Murdoch.
Great smother.
Gee, Barlow's had a ripping last quarter. He's had a great game, 32 touches.
Had a bit of Leo Barry about it, that one.
Barlow, 9 touches this quarter, and it's only 16 minutes old. Make that 10. Sutcliffe, stripped to the footy, knocked out in the tackle, said the umpire. De Boer, now Geelong applying the wall approach here with Enright. Mr. Cool. Corey Enright sees the match up with Blitzarves and Pearce. It was really well spotted. Thought he got Pearce a little high then. Duffield tried to bore a hole through. Crozier just a fumble at the crucial moment. Duncan soccer, but Subin given the chance. Now an opportunity to tidy up here as Spur. Goes long to the wing, got to come at the footy, does. There's the first gamer in Duffy. Oh, Ballantyne lost sight of the footy. I reckon he'd already spent it, Richo.
The handball went at his feet though. It was a tough pickup.
Johnson, no, it's Zach Clark. Did well, the big man. Really well, Clark. Now they've got it into space. Geelong have got to go here. Up the middle went Rivers. Well done. He had to leave his man bravely and separate the Dockers.
That was a great play from Jared Rivers. Reminded me a bit of Matty Scarlett in the grand final quite a few years back.
McIntosh, Kirsten, Duncan, left side. This time it's there. Geelong by 17 points.
Yeah, as Richo pointed out, this is brilliant play. Look at Rivers there. It's the right move, brave move. If he didn't quite time it right, Pavlich is out, runs into an open goal. Smart play. It's the way Geelong have always played. Very Matty Scarlett-like, and that might be a little nail there in the coffin.
Well done here. Once again, Crozier able to get it to 5. Ballantyne's got some space on Enright. Can he show him a trick or two? Yes, he tries to turn him inside out. Now the snap around the body, but Enright did well. High tackle. Crozier almost decapitated.
Off him, thank you.
And they'll get a chance to respond here.
Time back on. Stay there.
High tackle from Kelly is clear. What is not clear is whether this man here, Crozier, can kick the goal. Kicked his first goal of the year in the first quarter tonight, and then followed up with another one in the third. And now lining up for goal number 3, which would be a career high for him. Crozier now needs to bend it back, and he does. So Fremantle inch back into the game. Now just 11 points. Got 3 of the last 4 goals in this game, Fremantle. 15 of 22 goals have been kicked to the end, of which Fremantle are kicking. So they know they're at the scoring end of the ground here tonight, and the stats support that. Nice little muscle on there by Subin. Here's Pavlich. Mackie did really well. Kicked a couple of brilliant goals tonight, Mackie. Ballantyne in the back. Got him in the back here, Kelly.
Well, the difference this quarter is Freo have been able to win the clearances as they have all night. And they've gone forward first, but they've been able to score every time they go in there. This last quarter.
Again, opportunity. Through the traffic, little soccer looking for Mundy. Geelong happy to run it over the boundary here. Didn't go Mackie. Snuck another 10 metres. Might just break through the wall here. Zach Dawson under Motlop pressure. So he turned to the boundary. Spur went back to the middle. Got to go to the boundary when you're under pressure.
50.
And Spurs milked the 50 as well. He won't be quite in the 50. He'll be about 60 out.
Harry Taylor only 2 touches this quarter. So when they go forward now, they look dangerous.
Sandilands is the dominant man here. Both hands on the foot. He couldn't mark it off. Hands Bartel. Hill's got to beat a couple of Geelong players here. The boundary line beats them all.
Out of bounds on the full. They did really well there. Sandilands, as you called, BT, looked like he was going to clunk it. They've got numbers around him, but they'll go back inside 50 again.
And they do that. This time Pavlich in front, Sandlin's off, peels a little handball. Crowley, boy, did Selwood wind up and go at him? He went like a bullet.
That was a
he
great
launched
tackle.
himself, Richo.
A terrific tackle. I thought Crowley was going to be able to release a handball out the back, and he just locked him up, Selwood.
1 metre.
6 minutes left in the game. Sandlands has become a threat down there.
Yours.
Oh, great
Caught
tackle.
with the footy, Barlow. Advantage paid, was it?
It's Duffy.
All clear.
They have kicked the goal. And was it Duffy that kicked it?
It was. It's
from the
that man.
Barlow work. And this man has just dominated since he come on at the scoring end.
He's just a score involvement machine. Every time it goes near him, there's a score at the moment, in his first game.
He's kicked 2 goals in 2 quarters in his first game, Duffy. But not only that,
Great tackle.
guess what? It's a 5-point margin. The first gamer has set the Dockers alight, and Barlow has simply been superb. Back to the middle. A kick in it. Guthrie. Somehow through some traffic. Motlop the target here. Fights with his opponent. And this will be a 0-0 draw, you would have thought.
This is the closest the Dockers have been since the 17-minute mark of the first term. With 5 minutes to go, if they could pinch this, it's got to be the upset win of the year.
Well, they won in that big final here last year, the qualifying final. Ross Lyon, Fremantle Dockers have beaten Geelong in the last 2 final series here in Victoria. Here's Pavlich launching himself as well. Oh, Hill stepped through traffically wonderfully well. Ballantyne got the handball to Hill. Hill can go over the top. Fife knew he shouldn't take possession. Knocked in favour. Kelly put his head over the hard one and went at it and found Selwood.
Says when you got players around the footy, Enright did the right thing, getting back Kelly, and then Selwood involved as well. They're just so good in these situations.
There's Duncan.
Oh, look out, they're out here.
They are, they're just nursing it along the boundary line here. Duncan goes for Hawkins. Hawkins, good body position here. No in the back. Fremantle now able to clear.
Christensen was on his own for ages in front of Hawkins there. Duncan didn't see him.
Little handball to Main. Main did well. So now Fremantle again. This time Spur, long footy, Lonigan, great stretch.
Gee, I thought he nearly slung Pav to the ground then. He got away with it, Lonigan, good mark.
One-on-ones everywhere on the ground now. Exactly as you expect from 2 disciplined sides. No free footy for anyone. You've got to win it in a one-on-one like that. Hawkins has just positioned his body beautifully tonight. Good-looking kick as well. Johnson flew. He really had it on his chest. He should have taken it at the end. Now Christensen wrapped up in the tackle.
Got to pay some respect to Ryan Crowley then. Stevie J had that every day of the week. Look at Crowley's desperate effort. Really good effort to get in.
That's great, isn't it? That was just pure brute force that forced that out of Johnson's breadbasket. Fife. Dawson. An opportunity for Crozier. Pavlich. Now Geelong's Bartel. Dangerous kick back inside 50 for the Dockers. Here's Duncan. What's Duffield got?
They got a shocking bounce, Duncan.
Johnson got a beautiful bounce. Sandilands, they build again. It's a 5-point margin. We're down to the last 3 minutes of the game. Here's the miracle man, Duffy. Who is he? Max Duffy. Unbelievable tonight. A scoring machine.
Nice little cameo, isn't it, the sub? And geez, you feel like there is something special left in this last 3 minutes. It's within a kick.
Sandilands, Christensen, Stokes, ran into Mundy. Lucky not to get him high.
Can either team get a nice, clean clearance from this stoppage?
You reckon if Geelong were able to take a mark that they're good enough to milk it from here?
Yeah, against both sides, Fremantle are just so good at... They'll get one-on-one really quickly, the Dockers. They're a very smart team. I think there's a lot to play out in this 2.5 minutes.
There's no loose player anywhere now.
Sandilands did it well to knock it clear of the surrounding players there and give the outsiders a chance. Subin cleared the little path here for Duffy on to Mundy. Mundy with a spearing ball to Pavlich. Pavlich is marked. He will kick from just inside 50 or right on 50 it'll be.
Well, he has had not really any influence on this game, Pav. Just 11 possessions, no goals, but...
And he has not made it from 50 in any of his shots tonight, Das.
But he's a champion of the game, this man. You get the feeling he is capable of kicking this.
For Fremantle to hit the front with under 2 minutes in the game. Pavlich from 50. It's online. It looks good. It's hit the post. He can't believe it. Neither can we. 4 points.
He kicked it sweet, didn't he?
Oh, he got it beautifully, Richo. Now a big kick back into play for Enright. Johnson did well, but he leaves it over the back open. 1:38.
He thought that was home, Pav, didn't he? He had the arms up in the air, ready to celebrate.
Quick little footy out to Hawkins. No mark there over the line and out of bounds. Pav's reaction after this. There's the pocket of Fremantle supporters right behind him. Couldn't have been. They thought it was there. He thought it was there. And then at the last moment. But now they get another chance. Fife inside 50. Over the head of Zach Clark. Harry Taylor under enormous pressure. Wouldn't want to do it deliberately. Disguised it brilliantly. One Docker supporter amongst the Cats.
Sandilands working super hard to get down there. He's the man. He's got to be aggressive here. He get his big frame in front, draw a free kick, flick one out the back.
1:17. Fremantle so near. Geelong have done such a great job all night. Who's going to own it? Kenny to Selwood. Selwood ran into Pearce and he's been penalised. Pearce plays on, he didn't need to panic. The kick goes over the top. Pavlich almost marks it. Lonergan's there. He really didn't want to handball it clear. In goes Neil. Another ball up. 48 seconds, 30 metres out from Fremantle's goal. Lyon can't bear to watch. He's left the building.
Oh, well done.
I reckon he was worried about Pearce's kick then. And that's another behind. I reckon he thought Pearce should have taken a more clear kick. 37 seconds, a mark for Geelong here will seal it. Because they can milk that time by just kicking long. Cannot afford to let Geelong mark this footy. Sandilands is up. Bartel over the back. Boundary line beats them all. 30 seconds. 3-point margin. Boy, oh boy, what about this? Top 4 contenders. Geelong can consolidate a spot in the top 4 with a win here tonight. They're going to go forward. This time, Sutcliffe is told to play on. Not sure about that either. Mundy's marked. Mundy's marked. Clock's at 11 seconds. Ross Lyon can't believe it.
He'll be on the siren.
It'll be after the siren.
Just there.
4 seconds has stopped because of the blood rule. So the runner comes out to Mundy now and says 4 seconds, do not play on. Ross Lyon says 4 seconds, do not play on.
The blood rule's taken the theatre out of it, though. A shot after the siren.
Ross Lyon can't believe this, and Mundy has got a big leg.
Can he kick it, BT? Can he kick the journey?
I reckon he can, especially here. You feel like you're kicking downhill a bit. He must aim it inside right post. It has to be inside right post, and this will be kicked after the siren.
What do you reckon, Lingy, from there?
There's the siren.
It'll be a massive kick, but he's every chance, David Mundy.
Every kid's dream. Such a big thing hanging on this. Mundy, after the siren for the win, he must kick the goal, and he must kick it 50 metres. He lets it rip. It's on line, just offline. 1 point, Geelong win. Goodness gracious me. What about this from two great teams? Let's get down to Cameron Ling. He's got the man of the moment, Harry Taylor.
Oh, H, that was ridiculous, wasn't it? What a last quarter. What a game of football.
Yeah, awesome game. These are the sort of games you remember after the season's finished and you reflect. Yeah, a great game. I'm sure all the supporters and all those watching at home were pretty happy with that contest.
Well, I reckon everyone got their money's worth. Did you just feel under the pump in the last quarter? Freo just kept coming at you. Felt like that whole quarter just lived down there into the ground.
Yeah, it did. I'm not sure what the entries were, but they certainly beat us pretty convincingly around the stoppages in the last quarter. But look, we just hung on. We just hung on, didn't we?
Did you know as soon as David Mundy kicked it, it was off to the side and wasn't a goal?
Yeah, I've unfortunately been in those positions a few times. I remember McGrath having one against Brisbane, so yeah, lucky it come off the side of the boot a bit.
Well, go and enjoy it, mate. You were sensational tonight, and what a game of footy. Well done, H.
Well, they had the ball at their end in that last quarter, Fremantle. 60% of the time, they kicked 4 goals 7 and a remarkable comeback to 1 goal 3. You just saw McFarlane there as well.
He hit it pretty well, Mundy. It actually looked good off the boot. He just didn't get any draw.
He started it where I thought he needed to start it.
And in the old days here at Geelong, it would have swung more because the new grandstand here protects it now. It doesn't swing as much right to left.
But he got the journey. Let's go down to Lingy again.
Yeah, well, you can see behind me, Chris Scott's actually pulled the players straight in there. No doubt very, very happy to get the win, but I reckon Chris Scott's saying that you just gave up a lead there, gave them too many chances. He was very stern in pulling the players over and saying, get over here, guys, we've got a lot of work to do, a lot to go before September. So I can't talk to any of the players right now, despite everyone being happy. The coach not so happy with his players.
Well, get in amongst it there, Lingy, as soon as they break up, but Geelong have effectively, as you can see, Chris Scott laying down the law, cemented a spot in the top 4. I mean, they've got 3 games left. It'll be very hard for them to be bundled out from here.
I love watching this. Just occasionally you've got something in your mind, I want to get it out now. I don't want to wait till I cool down in the rooms. A bit of instruction, 3 or 4 things I noticed about the way we didn't set up the way we wanted to in the last 20 minutes of the game, and he'll take the win. Now let's get back down to Lingy.
I got Jimmy Bartell here. Jimmy, sorry, just gave you a little fright there. The coach just called you in for a bit of a chat. What was the general message?
Probably the last 5 minutes wasn't good enough, probably the way we set up. You got to tighten that stuff up against really good sides, and we probably got away with it in the end, but you still got to enjoy a win against a real quality side, and I'm sure we're going to be meeting them again later. Well,
it certainly was a great game of footy. Everybody here enjoyed themselves. Enjoyed your game too, kicking goals. Are you loving playing forward?
It's pretty easy to play next to Big Hawk. He draws a lot of attention. probably missed a couple of easy ones at the end that would have helped us. So back to goal kicking practice for me, mate.
You copped one in the beak early on in the game. Is that a broken nose, or is that just maybe a bit of swelling?
Nah, I probably broke it again. I broke it 3 times last year and got it fixed, and now I think I've broken it again.
You go and ruin that modelling career you've got after your footy career. But well done tonight. Sensational game. Everybody enjoyed it. You as well. Well done, Jim.
Thanks, Lingy.
Great work.
Well done, Lingy and Jimmy Bartel. There were 2 really important kicks in the end here. It boiled down to Matthew Pavlich had a kick from a long way out and on a really difficult angle, and as Chris Scott is enjoying that, goes inside. Have a look at this. Pavlich, we all thought he struck it really well when it was on line, and it just faded in its last 5 metres. It almost curled around the post, didn't it? And then it boiled down to Mundy. Could he kick the distance? Yes, we thought he had that covered. He needed to aim at right post. I reckon he aimed outside right post, and it didn't come back enough.
That's a millimetre, isn't it? Yep. Either way, Pav couldn't hit his any better. Mundy gave it a good ride, and look, I thought there were no chances for equal time, to be honest with you. 4-goal margin, 5 sore, McFarlane out of the game, Valentine no influence. They're a brave side. They were amazing, especially here at Geelong. Geelong just run oversides in that position. Thought Fremantle were incredible, and so too this team, who are now have to be a massive chance to win another one.
They do. They put themselves right in the position to do it. In that last quarter, Freo, they won the clearances all night, but they were able to get around Harry Taylor and Enright, who'd been dominating all night, and suddenly they looked dangerous every time they went inside 50.
6 in a row they've won, so Geelong into that 3rd position, and they draw top of the ladder, of course. That other Sydney game, is that still happening at the moment? It's finished, so that is a final score as well, so Sydney won that game. So that's the ladder with all 3 top teams, all 4 top teams having played this weekend.
That Mundy kick is a foot the other way. Fremantle are 3rd on the ladder at the moment. That is how tight the top 4 are. And Geelong, they're going to play Hawthorn in 2 weeks' time at the MCG in round 22. That will be just an unbelievable game.
Geelong have now won 6 games in a row. Chris Scott has had a good talking to them, but they will still enjoy this, I would imagine. They fought to hang on. Fremantle, as I said, in that last quarter, kicking 4 goals 7 to Geelong's 1 goal 3. But Geelong had done enough in the other 3 quarters to afford themselves a cushion. Well, stay with us here as Tommy Hawkins gives the camera a good staring. We're going to go to Ross Lyons' presser on the other side of the break. That will be fascinating stuff. And what such great emotion we saw at this game tonight. It was superb from all aspects.
Don't know what you've got. Oh, you don't know.